I'm Samuel B. Williams, and you're listening to Equal Ground Headlines. This week, Turkey has been engulfed in significant unrest following the arrest of Istanbul's Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu, a prominent opposition figure and key rival to President Recep Tayyip Erdoğan. The arrest has sparked widespread protests, economic turmoil, and heightened concerns about the state of democracy in the country. On March 19, 2025, Turkish authorities detained Mayor İmamoğlu during a pre-dawn raid at his residence. He faces charges of corruption and alleged links to terrorist organizations, specifically accusations of aiding the Kurdistan Workers' Party, PKK, which is designated as a terrorist group by Turkey and its Western ally. Alongside İmamoğlu, over 100 individuals, including district mayors and business figures, were also arrested on related charges. Critics argued that these charges are politically motivated, aiming to eliminate President Erdoğan's main competitor ahead of the 2028 presidential elections. Notably, just before his arrest, Istanbul University annulled İmamoğlu's academic degree, a move that could disqualify him from running for president, as a university degree is a constitutional requirement for candidacy. Public protests and government response. The arrest has ignited widespread protests across major Turkish cities, including Istanbul, Ankara, and Izmir. Demonstrators view İmamoğlu's detention as an attack on democracy and have defied government-imposed bans on public gatherings to voice their dissent. In Istanbul, thousands gathered outside the city hall for consecutive nights, chanting slogans against the government's actions. In response, authorities have implemented stringent measures. Protest bans. The Istanbul Governor's Office issued a 4-day ban on all public gatherings and demonstrations, a directive that has been similarly enforced in other cities. Transportation restrictions. Major roads and rail networks in central Istanbul have been closed to impede the mobilization of protesters. Social media limitations. Access to platforms such as Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok has been restricted nationwide, aiming to curtail the organization and spread of protests. Özgür Özel, leader of the main opposition Republican People's Party, has condemned İmamoğlu's arrest, labeling it a coup attempt against the future president. He has called for peaceful protests and emphasized that such actions by the government would only bolster support for the opposition. The CHP plans to proceed with nominating İmamoğlu as their presidential candidate, reaffirming their commitment to challenge the current administration. The political unrest has had immediate economic impacts. Stock market decline. Turkish stocks experienced their worst weekly decline since 2008, with the Borsa Istanbul's benchmark index falling by approximately 16%. Financial Times. Currency depreciation. The Turkish lira depreciated by 3% earlier in the week, prompting the central bank to intervene to stabilize the currency. Human rights organizations and international observers have expressed alarm over İmamoğlu's arrest and the subsequent crackdown on opposition figures. Human Rights Watch condemned the detention as politically motivated, highlighting concerns about Turkey's democratic trajectory and the erosion of judicial independence. The arrest of Mayor Ekrem İmamoğlu has plunged Turkey into a period of political uncertainty and social unrest. The government's stringent measures to suppress dissent have only intensified public outcry, with many citizens perceiving these actions as an assault on democratic principles. As protests continue and the opposition remains defiant, the coming weeks will be critical in determining Turkey's political future and its commitment to democratic norms. We will continue to monitor this developing story and provide updates as more information becomes available. Thank you for joining us on Equal Ground Headlines. I'm Samuel B. Williams.